extreme elements. CyberX is now live.
Hey, how's it going?
No Man's Sky, Edge of Galaxy Edge City Building the Lazy Ninjas Empire 050822.
Hey, how's it going? Say that one more time. Yeah, I've got it at 1080, 30 frames a second, but we could go 2K 60, and it does pretty good. Yeah, it does pretty good. I'm also streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so do them all. No, I'm trying to keep it. I'm more into the just building and sim side of it. Exploring is pretty fun. Yeah. Yeah, I try to mess with just getting some of the expedition trophies I had missed or something, but it's just not worth all of the fuss. The game's barely functions half the time. Like right now, I can't all of a sudden. I was just here building, and I come back and now I can't build here. It's so dumb. Nice. Um, the biggest thing, my issue is the limits. Is I maxed out my count, so I've been deleting some bases that I didn't care about, so I can keep building. But this is stupid. Like I just was building this. It's definitely within the distance. It's so dumb. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. And do they work in multiplayer or they only work in single player? Nice. That's great. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I still enjoy playing the game for the game, I guess. And some instances, it's like stuff like this is just ridiculous. Like I was just building here. Like this is just dumb. But yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I could see him doing more of a hardcore experience. Wouldn't be a bad. Yeah. I'd like to see. Well, I'd just like to see him let us own the systems and have like turrets and let my fleet defend the system, and if I want to charge a toll for you to go through my system, then you gotta pay it, or you gotta fight, or you gotta run off. I think they could do more. Yeah, because if I could claim it, yeah, because it'd give a reason for also to have like the clan system and people to group together and be in social groups, because you could have free passage through those groups area, or you could have protected passage, or well, but you have the center and you got the edges, and you got, that's the key, is to come up with more priority points. I mean, technically, or more rare resources, resources that truly only are on certain planets. It'd give you a lot better ability. But yeah, you're right. The number's so big, but even then, I think you could centralize that some. Even I mean, just adding some cities, like adding some populated areas, and then around those populated areas, people would start claiming systems to be close to those cities, and then that would give value, and you could continue to work your way out like that. I've been working on the edge of the system. I've got a whole bunch of systems in the center, and then I'm working on the edge. Um, so it's kind of fun, but you're right. There's not a lot of reason to do anything other than just investing and hoping someday they'll let me put turrets up or claim areas. Or another thing would be, let me hire NPCs and bring them back to my areas, so I could have like a city with 300 NPCs that live there and work there, and that could give me more production power, more ability, and then NPCs would become something of value. Because right now, I mean, they kind of do that with the squadrons, but you can just upgrade any NPC, so there really isn't any value in one over another. But that would be a nice change as well. Is have it to where there's some entertainment in. Because right now you talk to all the NPCs and they're just useless, other than getting language stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not like they have they don't have an anti-cheat system anyways. I mean, there's no. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you're not. I mean, in some cases, you're not building. It is all creative and up to your imagination, and so much of the stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. Um, Yeah, I think part of their issue is they should have only had one galaxy. Having all of the different galaxies and it this is already too much for the whole human population, much less having how many more there are. If you put everybody in one and really pushed it, especially with the expeditions, and I wouldn't do the expeditions. Um, don't make people start over for the expeditions. Like that's the whole point of people investing in their accounts and investing in stuff. But yeah, the end game really isn't very well thought out at this point. I I think it'd be fun if you could take over space stations and but back to the same thing unless you can start gathering people and bring them to these people to populate. Like I have a huge hotel that's massive, but there's nobody there cuz it's in my settlement, but the people in the settlement don't go up into the other places. If I could actually like populate it or bring people in and make them feel, then we could have those cities. We could make that stuff. Yeah, I don't even have the mech unlocked. Yep. Right. So it kind of defeats. Yeah, and there's definitely no leveling. I mean, but even if you took out modding, there's no real threat. There's no real leveling. Once you get to a certain point, and honestly, what I spend a lot of my times doing is being a pirate and going around and killing humans, killing other players. And sometimes it's like, say that again. You can kill other players as you, as anybody. So no, that I mean, we're all in the same base worlds anyway. So you see somebody. So say no, but say like the expeditions. Why don't I just take my normal ship to where the people that are doing the expeditions are, and then hunt them? And so I do that. So during the expeditions, I'll spend a week or two just hunting people, and sometimes I'll find like a hard objective and find the very end of it where they would trade it in, and then I'll just build a base there and sit there, and as they come in, I'll kill them and just keep killing them just to troll them as a pirate. Because you're right, the game is too easy in my opinion, and nobody turns off their beacon, so they broadcast their location to everybody, which is moronic. That's their fault. So I haven't. Yeah. Yeah, that's a major flaw in all these games. Same thing with Sea of Thieves is the whole point of most of this stuff is to transport stuff from one place to the other, and they've broken it with how bad the yeah, and the trade system and how you can find anything everywhere, and it's really not that difficult to find anything. And yeah, I don't think I want that hardcore in a game like this. I think kind of the enjoyment. Yeah, yeah. A lot of that stuff is what Elite Dangerous needs to be doing more of because they're already falling into the realism and the trying to be more hardcore about it. Same thing with Star Citizen, but Star Citizen has its own issue. Say that one more time. Not with DLSS. I mean, you don't have to have a good system to run anything with DLSS or with Adobe stuff. As long as you have a card that supports it. What do you, what do you have? Nice. Damn. That's a good chunk of money. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, prices have come down on video cards quite a bit, so it might be a good time to take those cards and sell them and just get, especially if you got three, just sell them and get one reasonable card. No, you're. I mean, you're not gonna have a. I mean, you just build a whole new system. You wouldn't have to put that much money into it, though. What kind of video cards are in it? Probably like 1050 Ti's, maybe. It might be worth looking because I mean, prices have plummeted, but even if you got $100 a piece out of them or $200 a piece, you get a pretty reasonable replacement because card values or performance has just changed so much. But what what can it do now? You can do anything on an Xbox. It is a PC. It's even running Windows. Sure, you can. You just do it. It has a fully fledged browser. You can play Steam games on it. Yeah, they updated the browser like 6 months ago. You can do full Steam streaming even. Yeah, you just do Office, just do word processing through a web page, just like you would do Word Online or Google G Docs. And you plug in a keyboard and mouse and do it just like you do anything. But, I mean, that's not what I would do. I'd own a computer. What you're feeling about Microsoft and consoles is Microsoft doesn't want adults using consoles. Microsoft wants kids using consoles. They want adults to use computers because the whole point of a console is the living room. And they don't want to have adult content and mature content and good games, in essence, in the living room, and the parents are going to see them and throw a fit and bitch at them and cause them heartburn and problems, and they're not getting a lot of money out of those people. So they'd rather the adults who want to play quality games, hardcore games, be able to mod stuff on PC, and then they want the 12 and under crowd on console. That's why you're feeling unwanted over there. And a lot of 12 and under don't want to do word processing, so that's why it doesn't appeal. And in their demographic, they would just use a tablet to do the word processing versus a TV or a Chromebook or something. Well, but it's broken. VR as a concept's not viable. Nobody's made any money on it. All of it's a waste. So it's a waste for Microsoft to enter the genre until it's proven to be functional. And right now, I don't know, 40% of people throw up and get sick when they put on a headset. How do you yeah, how do you even put that in a console and sell that to kids? Once again, you can get all this stuff on PC just fine for adults, but they don't want 12-year-olds and under using VR. That's really bad for them. It'll mess up their eyes and their brains, sadly. So, but these are all things that you're feeling, but nobody's talking about and verbalizing because Microsoft doesn't want to come out and say, don't buy our consoles. But even Sony came out and said, we're only going to make a small amount of these consoles. They're trying to hint at people that this is for kids, and if you want to do, real gaming, that you need to be on a PC. Because they only made, before the pandemic, before they launched the PlayStation 5, they even came out and said they're only going to make 500,000 of them. They sold 5 million of the PlayStation 4s. Oh, yeah. That's just fucking stupid. The management at Microsoft should be fired. They're just fucking morons. Yeah. But the problem is Microsoft's run by committee. So if you put 20 people in a room and you say, okay, you all have to agree on something, that's not possible because they take every fucking demographic, they take all of the different bullshit, and there's no way to get 20 people to agree on any name. That's why in Halo Infinite, the new AI is called the Weapon. Because they thought they would offend anybody that they named, and so they couldn't come up with any name other than the Weapon because nobody's named the Weapon, so we can't offend them. But we sure as can't make it Cortana or make it something that's someone's actual name because she's going to be a bad guy. And that's the world we live in now. Like, you get a committee together and nothing can get done. So Microsoft's in that hellhole until they fire all those people. Intel finally did. Intel had the exact same problem, and they finally fired all those people, and they put engineers back in charge, and all of a sudden Intel's like kicking ass and doing all this crazy crap. So I wouldn't buy a console. I think that's a really bad investment. I bought a 3090 and have paid it off with crypto mining plus, I don't know, $1,000 that it's paid me. It's just mind-boggling how good of a deal that was, and I've had a 3090 all this time. Like, all those people, the naysayers out there, are just morons. So pissed this base is broken and I can't build in the middle here. It's so stupid. It's literally just here. The video cards under GPU is the big deal. No, it's under Task Manager. It's just under Performance and then GPU or Display. $79. Does it say how much RAM they have? Probably 4 gig if he fucked up on mining. Yeah, if anybody building a mining rig using AMD is already lost. Okay, AMD. What did you say? 7900? Sorry, what was the graphics card? Oh, it's a 3 gig card. Which one is the it's the 7900? Yeah, those are old. Old. You would have done really. You should have sold them about 6 months ago, and you would have made a killing on them, and could have easily paid for other stuff. I bet. I bet you could have bought a whole system. Yep. So let's see. ATI Radon. ATI Radon. I wouldn't for the video card. It'd be fine for the CPU. $7,900. Yeah, for graphics. Yeah, I don't think there's a good way around that. I don't think ATI is nowhere close to keeping up. So there's a 70. That's a Fire Pro V. I don't know if that's it. That's a 2 gig. Yeah, that's what I would do to save the money. That's the bigger version of them. That's too much for what you want. So that card on eBay is $75 plus 15 shipping. Um, yeah, I think so. And I bet those were probably going for. You needed to have sold them before Ether crypto mining went above the 3 gig mark or 4 gig mark, because they're not usable for crypto mining, and you could have probably got a ton of money for them. But yeah, it's too late now, and this you'll have to do a whole new system. There's no reason to keep anything that you have, because it's not gonna be worth. Things have changed too much, and the value of keeping it versus getting something new isn't gonna be worth it. I do a 38 RTX 3800 um and then I mean you wouldn't have to, it just depends on what games you want to play, but you wouldn't have to do much more than like i5 or what's the rate on is a Ryzen 5. Well, but that's on the development side. So its demands are relative to what you're doing. You need to find a game that uses that engine that's already built and see what their requirements are. Like Star Citizen is a good example. Just go look up Star Citizen's. Uh, let's see what Star Citizen says. I mean, it's a beefy game. But like I said, with DLSS, there's a lot you can do. So the lowest end card that they say you should run is a 1060 or a 580. And both of those cards I think are running for like $200 to $300. And they're saying i7 2500, which is a second gen. So that's a 10-year-old processor. So processors really aren't. It also depends if you're going to do 2K or 4K. If you're going to do 7. Oh, then it's more important to have a better video card than it is a CPU. So if you're going to do 720 or 1080, then that puts a lot more pressure on the CPU. If you're doing 2K or higher, then it puts the pressure on the GPU. People don't understand that, so they'll get a really nice GPU and then play competitive games at 720. And it's like you just wasted all of that, because 720 is all CPU bound. You really need to have that insane CPU and spend the extra money on that side. But yeah, it's gonna run on anything that you get that's current. So my advice would be like a 3080. Yeah, or just order one. I mean, it's just as cheap to order it these days, and you get a lifetime warranty, and then you don't have to worry about it. I would do Zydax. Zydax does. Yep. ZIDAX. Yep. So go. Oh, yeah, yeah, sorry. XIDAX. I didn't process what you said. And you kind of want to shop it because they have deals, right? They have like really good deals for different weather or different seasons. So it's worth looking at it to say, yeah, I would customize it so that you're getting, what you want. But that's a 12th gen CPU, so that's a brand new GPU. You don't need as much RAM because the RAM's so fast. That's not the graphics card I'd get though. I would customize it and get like a 3070 or 3080. And you can choose different, but so it takes you right to that pre-config, but you can go to products and pick your case and everything. Like you can go to products and do build yours and go through the whole process and look at the different cases because the X2 is just the entry level. I have oh goodness, what do I have? I have like 5 systems here with me, and one of them's a Zydex, and then the other three are I built myself, and then one's a Dell. But it like there's a X6 AMD Ryzen case that's down the list a little, or there's a X6i pure white case, or the X5. I take that back. I don't have an X5. They've changed these. I have. I have the X8 case, but not with the Threadripper. So they've changed up the cases with the systems. Interesting. And but the X2 is fine. I'm not saying that. I just want you to, if you're gonna do a custom build, you might as well look through everything and make sure you're getting the case as well. And then, sorry, you dropped out. Say that again. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think 2 grand's probably your sweet spot because the prices have gone down. So I think you're in a really good spot. What I was gonna say is 2 things. One, make sure you use Honey and test coupons because they could save you a hell of a lot of money. So make sure you're signing up for Honey and it's free. It's just gonna test all the coupons currently to make sure you're not getting screwed. And then I would make sure and shop them because I saw a deal the other day where Newegg had a system pretty similar. Granted, it didn't have the lifetime warranty, but it was $400 or $500 cheaper because there was just this crazy sale going. And same thing with Dell. I saw a 50% off deal recently at Dell. So we bought a $2,600 laptop for $1,400 or something. It was ridiculous. So what I would do is I would configure like what you want from Zydex, and then I would go do the same thing at Dell, and I do the same thing at Newegg, and I just get a base idea and see if what they look like. At Dell, I wouldn't do Alienware probably. I they've really fucked up Alienware over the years. So I would do their business class. I bought millions of dollars of their business class line, and I think you're fine in that stuff. But I wouldn't get. I would be careful with them. Newegg, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably whatever. But I like the Zydex because like I did Minecraft development for a few years professionally, and so when I started that, I didn't want to be doing it on a system I built and worry about stuff, so I just bought a Zydex system with the lifetime warranty, and I just that way I could always put it on them if there's any issue. My other systems, I believe so. You can go read their warranty policy, but I believe they replace hardware and labor. Well, you can. I don't think overclocking matters, and they'll even overclock it for you if you want them to. I mean, they're a professional. They're professional game builders. But that's not true. No, that's the bullshit that people are telling you to get you not to mine. But why would why would that matter in something that has no moving parts? Like, yeah, maybe you wear out the fan. High quality fans are spec'd for 10 plus years. Like, after 10 fucking years, yeah, you should replace the fan. You should probably replace it at 5 years if you're doing good maintenance. So why would any of that matter if Zydex puts in a power supply that the manufacturer says should live 12 years and run 12 years? The chances of that desktop being in use for 12 years are very unlikely. And remember, that's 12 years of constant use. That's not 12 years of sometimes. And so you have to think of and we have to be careful here. I'm talking about professional grade stuff. I'm not talking about Best Buy consumer grade. Because the same thing applies for an Xbox. An Xbox is not a professional piece of equipment, it's consumer, which means you could kill an Xbox in a year and 2 months because it has a 1 year warranty, and that's why it has a 1 year warranty. Because if you use it a lot, it's gonna die because it's designed as a consumable product. But a business class product that comes with a 3 year warranty or a 5 year warranty or a 12 year warranty is built for the high end. Yeah, the Xbox, sadly, I burned out a Xbox One X, a nice high end. No, not the new shit. The uh, see the bullshit problem. The Xbox One, the good one, I burned one of those out in 14 months. And same thing, just after warranty. But my Xbox S lasted 4 years. And it's just that consumable bullshit that it's a crapshoot versus professional hardware that should last being used every day. And you think about it like a tractor. A tractor's designed to stay on and be on, and so we track its hours. We don't, it's not about how many times you turn it on or off. You want to leave it on, more like a diesel. On a computer, every time you turn it on and off and it cools down and then it heats up is its highest risk. That's actually the wear and tear that you're doing to it. The best thing you could do is keep it at a constant temperature all the time. That's how metal works. So having something mining that's always on is actually better for it than having it being turned off every night. Sorry, you dropped out again. I don't know if it's your mic, maybe not close, or internet. It could be the noise canceller too. I think I'm gonna bail here pretty soon. I'm pretty bummed about my base being messed up. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and see if it's still messed up. If it is, I'll probably delete the middle area and then, I don't know, rebuild it. That's so stupid. I just needed some gold, so I just thought it'd be easier to go teleport somewhere else to get gold than to try to mine it. And when I left, it messed up my building area. You're really far away and I can barely hear you. If you have me on speakerphones, the noise cancellation is kicking in. It's it's not designed to be on speakerphone. But it's all good. Yeah, check out systems. It's well worth investing the money because prices have dropped, and now's a good time to get them before we have another. If we have a China-America war, then graphic cards are going to skyrocket and be hard to get again. So while they're accessible right now, I would get a good one. I don't know that I'd get a 3090 for what you want for the money, but I'd at least get a 3070 or a 3080. And if you can afford the TI version, I would go ahead and get it. Yeah, have a good afternoon. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'll probably be streaming in here more when I'm playing No Man's Skies. Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. No problem. Thank you.